ultimate weird-ass thing, the Media Boat Podcast.
Yeah, where I start the recording before I start us going live.
Yeah, just like that.
I am very out of it right now, apparently.
I didn't realize that you had done that.
No, I just realized that right now, because I think I just want to get this going, because we have a lot to talk about, so...
And what do we talk about here on the Media Boat Podcast but media, because that's what it is. If you are new to the Media Boat Podcast, we are a podcast about movies, television, video games, and music, not necessarily in that order. My name is Matt. His name is Mike.
I'm Mike. He's Matt. We usually go live about Wednesdays at 6:30.
We're an hour early this week. 30 minutes. 30 minutes early.
Close to 30 minutes.
Yeah, because we have people to see, places to go. So
things to eat, I think.
Things to eat. Dessert nachos to...
Pretty much. I mean, why else would I do that?
You know.
Oh, you know what I'm all about.
I know what you're all about.
You know my D&B life.
Oh, yeah. I know. Hashtag D&B life.
Hashtag D&B life. Hashtag free stuff.
Hashtag free stuff, exactly. I'm gorging myself on licorice and Diet Coke because it's Wednesday night. Motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah, we have the explicit tag.
Yeah,
you know what? Well, let's just keep going, okay?
Hey, so it's me, Podcast. Let's get it rolling. We always start with
rolling.
movies. And we always start movies with a weekend box office numbers. And man, speaking of going fast.
Sonic go fast?
Sonic is known for going fast. It's one of his signature things about him. And sure enough, it went to a fast $58 million on its debut weekend in theaters.
It broke the speed limit.
It broke the speed limit and broke the Valentine's weekend record.
Really?
I heard that apparently it is some sort of record for this time of year.
Maybe for PG-13?
PG.
Oh, PG.
PG-ass movie.
Okay, so probably for PG then.
Maybe. But yeah.
Because I was saying, doesn't Deadpool hold that record? Because they came out on Valentine's?
Yeah, but for R-rated movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog did way better than predictions. It did about like $13 million more than predicted.
Mm-hmm. So
that's a hit. Surprising everyone. It's now on track to be the best reviewed video game film of all time, narrowly beating out
Detective
Pikachu.
Which is what I said going into this thing, that it might have the hype of Detective Pikachu.
I think it does. I think it's got a big cross-section because it's got the older, people who grew up with Sonic that are interested in it. And also, kids love Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't know if you know this about kids.
I know that kids watch that cartoon Sonic the Hedgehog, whatever iteration they're on right now.
That's what I thought, right? So when I was talking to my girlfriend about this, she works in a library and interacts with kids all the time. Kids were talking to her about Sonic the Hedgehog and how much they love her and love him. And I was like, oh, is it because they watched the TV show? And she was like, what TV show? And I was like, oh, they don't watch the TV show? And she was like, no, they were talking about the video games and they're really excited for the movie. I'm like, well, that goes to show you that Sonic has pull even beyond just television.
There is a big DeviantArt fan base.
Oh, yeah, to go with that.
And internet art of Sonic.
Oh, Sonic? The internet has always loved Sonic.
Yes, the Sonic memes are everywhere. So
yeah, to me, this isn't surprising that this is doing well. I think the surprising part is that the movie, apparently, is actually okay. I will briefly mention, neither of us saw it.
Yes.
But I do have...
I almost saw it.
I did have word just about an hour ago for someone who did see it.
Okay.
One of my roommates. And his review basically is this. I asked him for a brief review. He was like, yeah, it's better than it needs to be. He enjoyed it more than Detective Pikachu.
Okay.
He thought it's a better plotted movie. Jim Carrey is at his 90s powers here, apparently. Okay. And so if you like that kind of Jim Carrey performance, this is that. He said that the Sonic the Hedgehog character is fun, and there were some funny moments. There's not so much of a heavy story. They kind of get things going as quick as possible to kind of establish and then kind of roll into the plot. And the dude, I think it's James Marsden. James Marsden apparently is the worst part of that movie.
Oh.
I've heard that from multiple people.
I could have told you that from the trailers.
Apparently he's just like a dud through the whole thing. So
I believe we discovered that while he was on 30 Rock.
Oh, and this is not a spoiler, so I'm just going to say it. Like, if you didn't know that this was the case, I apologize, but it's the most obvious thing in the world. The after credits sequence involves Tails.
Oh. I figured that out too.
Yeah, it was like as soon as this was announced, you knew that there was going to be some sort of Tails.
It's like, wait,
tease.
there's got to be Tails in there, right?
Tails at the very end.
No Tails in this movie?
At the tail end of this
film.
film.
At the tail end.
There is Tails. So yeah, there you go. He gave
Yes.
it a, on the patent and media vote scale, he gave it a stream it.
The sequel bait that is Tails.
Exactly. Yeah, you always have in the second movie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so he gave it a stream it on the patented media vote scale.
Okay.
So let's move on to the rest of this top 5. Number 2, moving down to still kind of hanging out, not doing so super well. Birds of Prey, $17 million, adding to a $59 million total. So in 1 week, Sonic the Hedgehog almost beat Birds of Prey's 2-week number.
And people are wondering why they're calling Birds of Prey a flop.
Yeah.
Here you go. Exhibit Sonic.
Sonic.
Exhibit Blue.
Yeah. Number 3, Fantasy Island. That Blumhouse's Fantasy Island. Number 3 with $12 million.
That's all debut.
That's it. That's
debut. That's a debut.
Number 4, The Photograph.
Also a debut.
Take a look at this photograph. Also with $12 million.
Yeah, it was close. I think it was only like 100,000 separating them.
And people are still seeing Bad Boys for Life. It's number 5 at $11 million.
See, because when you don't have a girl, you go with your boys.
Your bad boys.
Your bad boys for that Valentine's weekend.
But if that's not good enough for you, what is this weekend's new releases?
Alright, what am I watching?
Alright, I don't know what you're watching, but here are the new releases. You have terrifying CG dog and Harrison Ford in The Call of the Wild.
Yes, based off Jack London's Call of the Wild of the very same name.
And creepy, terrifying CG boy in Brahms' The Boy 2, which is a horror movie.
Do you know what this is?
I've seen a trailer for this.
I have not seen a trailer.
Poster for this, and it's a creepy marionette boy.
Oh.
It's a horror movie.
See, I would have gone with, like, Brahms Orchestra.
No. I don't know where the Brahms comes in here, but I've seen the boy.
Okay.
The titular boy.
Okay.
And he's creepy as hell.
Pass.
Those are your new releases this week.
Sonic rolls over.
Yeah, Sonic rolls over.
Sonic rolls over.
Spinballs over.
35 million.
35, yeah. Alright, next is video game. Wow, Sonic made me think about video games. Movie news, unless you want to talk about any movies here?
No. I did see a movie, but it's as we discussed, on streaming. So
yeah, okay.
We're going to talk about it on TV.
Talk about it on TV. Alright, movie news. First up, a rare occurrence has happened. Someone who has spent years retired from being on the screen is returning to the movies. Guess the actor.
Well, I know the actor. I don't have to guess.
Yeah, you wrote the story.
I wrote the story. but if I had to take a wild guess, I mean, Martin Lawrence is having a good comeback, right?
It's not Martin Lawrence.
No?
No, it's Rick Moranis.
He retired.
Yes, he retired.
He retired after his wife died to spend more time with his kids.
Famously, after, of course, the huge, immense success of the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids franchise with Disney.
Right, and that was coming off the heels of Ghostbusters, right. Also huge.
Yeah, he was a big name in the 80s and early 90s, but he is back, thanks to Disney, because they are bringing back the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids franchise.
You know, it's weird because I was just watching this.
Yeah.
Because it's on Disney Plus before this got announced.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, these are so, like, 90s-esque.
They really are. They're really products of their time.
Yes.
But yeah, a sequel is currently in the works called Shrunk.
Shrunk?
You know, because Disney likes their past tense one-word titles, like Frozen.
Well, it's also Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Right, exactly. So.
But I guess just Shrunk?
Simple.
Okay.
That will see his character, Rick Moranis' character, Wayne Szalinski, star alongside his son, played by Josh Gad, as he aspires to be a great scientist just like his father. Disney was trying to quiet the rumors that he would be returning, but news of a done deal is too good to pass up, so it got out. And the internet is happy.
The internet loves Rick Moranis.
The film's original director, Joe Johnston, is back at the helm, believe it or not.
He's still around.
That somehow is more unbelievable to me than getting Rick Moranis back.
That Joe Johnston is still around making movies?
Joe Johnston still wants to direct a movie. That's just me, though.
I mean, he did do the first Captain America.
That's true. That's true.
No
one likes that one. So
what do you mean? People like that one.
And not as much.
Not as much. There are better Captain Americas out there, but.
And before you guess, as I mentioned up top, this will be a theatrical release. It will not be a Disney Plus movie.
See, I would have guessed Disney Plus.
So I think that if you get Rick Moranis back for something, you put it in a damn theater.
My question is that this
Rick Moranis.
This might not be a full-on Rick Moranis vehicle. This sounds more like the Josh Gad vehicle.
The way that they're plotting this actually sounds like there's going to be a lot of Rick Moranis in this.
I could see Rick Moranis and Josh Gad
maybe splitting some time here.
Either both get shrunk down and they have to work together.
Oh, maybe that might be it. That might be a plot for that.
I mean, it depends on how much he wants to actually be involved.
Yeah.
But that would be a good plot, learn from the father's mistakes, because technically they have both been shrunken down before.
True. Yes.
Yes. In Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves.
Yep. Anyway.
I watched that on Disney Plus too.
You did. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that story. Good thing to see Rick Moranis back in action, because I bet that his kids are probably grown-ass adults by now.
Yep. Probably hey, Dad, you might want to get out of the house now.
You want to do something? Anyway. Oh, so there you go. That's good. Feel-good story.
Yep.
Next up, we got some bits.
So I could not decide on any one of these stories, because any one of these could have been a good news, and I didn't want to, how these go to waste.
I'm glad to report that you don't have to choose, because the bits is here.
The bits is
here.
To
save you.
Yes.
So let's talk about some bits.
All right, give me some bits. Give me some bits.
All right, first up, Cats. The movie ended its domestic run with just $27.2 million. That's probably what it made in one night on Broadway back in 1987. There you go. That's disgustingly bad.
To put that into perspective, Birds of Prey, even though we just shat on that movie,
made more than that.
Made more in its opening weekend than this did.
Look forward to discounted DVDs and Blu-rays of Cats at your local Walmart in about 3 months.
Although I have heard that those who do enjoy the film have a cult cat-like following, so Rocky Horror style for this, because it is also a musical.
I guess I could see a fate where this ends up being a midnight movie like that.
Right,
you might be right.
I mean, it is a musical. People can go and sing along to it, so
you could if you wanted to.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it is something.
Second bit, Jessica Chastain and Eddie Redmayne are scheduled to star in The Good Nurse, about the serial killer, the Angel of Death.
Yes, played by Jessica Chastain, who was a famous serial killer nurse.
Jessica Chastain was?
No.
No, the Angel of Death.
The Angel of Death was a famous serial killer nurse who they didn't catch on that it was the nurse who was killing all these patients.
Okay, but they eventually figured it out?
Yeah. But it's one of the most.
Yeah. So if you like those murder podcasts,
or
this movie's for you.
Or a murder mystery.
Both of those things could be true. Next up.
Go ahead.
This is just an excuse for me to do the voice.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Thank you for calling Movie Phone. We're sorry, nobody can answer because the company is bankrupt.
Yes, Movie Phone is officially bankrupt. There's only one
movie. It's still around.
Apparently, it was still around.
Wait, here's a fun fact. Then that means that Movie Pass went bankrupt a week before Movie Phone.
Yes, even though Movie Phone lasted longer in total.
Wow.
But yeah, Movie Phone has only one employee left on its payroll,
and that's Mr. Movie Phone.
Probably just I don't know. But yeah, Movie Phone is basically dead, although who is using Movie Phone?
I don't think anybody's using Movie Phone in this day of it, this day and age.
Right.
You can just pull up movie listings in your phone now, visually.
Right, you can pull up movies on your phone.
Yeah, you don't need Movie Phone because you have movies on your phone.
Yes. So you can stream movies on your phone without Movie Phone.
Next up, and I actually heard this, the Billie Eilish James Bond theme, No Time to Die, named after the movie.
Yes.
Scene 4.
Yes.
Is out and around the internet if you are interested in hearing it. It's exactly what you think Billie Eilish singing a Bond theme would sound like.
Although it's not what the Bond theme it's not a Billie Eilish song.
It's not.
No.
See, that's what surprised me about it. I was expecting, this is going to sound like Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish
but
pop
no,
song.
they started playing, and I was like, you could literally put anybody into this song, and it could be the same song. Billie Eilish is singing it, and you can tell that it's her, but that is it. It is just Billie. That's why I phrased it that way. This is Billie Eilish singing a Bond theme, not a Billie Eilish Bond theme.
Right.
Those are two different things. So yeah, you can easily imagine Adele's voice in place.
Yes.
And it would work.
I want to say that was done on purpose to get, because the Bond film is on a national stage. A global stage, not just national.
Yes,
that for Billie Eilish to basically expand her audience, you don't want to do the Billie Eilish bad guy song and straight up alienate a good portion of people.
I mean, I think it's less that. I think it's more just they had the song already written.
Yeah,
and it was a matter of who is going to be our person who sings it. And they probably, the executive was like, well, who's hot right now?
Well, who won the Grammys?
Yeah, it was like, who's hot right now? Let's wait until, see how the Grammys, or this award season, checks out and see, who's on the... Who's on the top of the list?
Did this happen with Adele? After she won all the Grammys, she won Skyfall?
I think there's a trend here. I mean, you could say the same thing.
And the same with Sam Smith after he won his Grammy?
You could just keep going down the list because, that seems to be how they do this decision-making process with these Bond themes. Is who's the hot award winner right now?
Who just won the Grammys?
Not just maybe just the Grammys, but, they probably evaluate, the last year in review.
Yeah.
Who's the thing? Who's the person? And Billie Eilish is that person right now. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually kind of disappointed that it didn't have more of her personality in it.
Right.
But
you're right. It did sound like
it's just a
Bond thing.
It's just a Bond thing. That's all this is, and it just has Billie Eilish's breathy voice in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what that is.
But she does have a pretty good voice on her own. With it being said,
yes, for sure, she's talented with that voice for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of James Bond, the No Time to Die premiered in China.
No.
No, it did not premiere in China.
It will not premiere in China.
The tour canceled. The tour for its premiere in China was canceled and will not occur because of worries about coronavirus. Yep. Coronavirus will come up again later in this podcast, in fact.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, yeah.
Not from either of us, though, thankfully.
Thankfully.
Yes.
Knock on. There's
no
wood here.
I got wood.
Gross.
Explicit tag.
Gross. Parasite and Memories of Murder by Bong Joon-ho are going to be released by the Criterion Collection.
Be a part of that Criterion Collection there.
This is smart.
Yes.
This is very smart to capitalize on this Oscar win. It's really, I think, helping a lot of people kind of do a deep dive into his past film catalog, and people are way into this stuff. So.
Yeah, because I do believe a lot of people didn't know or have no clue that he's been around for the past 20-odd years.
Right, yeah.
Including my dad, because after he won, he sent me a text saying, see, anyone can win. I'm like, yeah, he's been around, though.
Yeah, he's not new.
He's not new.
Yeah. And lastly, in the bits, or at least the last couple bits, because I think you have something else to add. Trey Parker and Matt Stone, your South Park creators, are currently working on a new film. No word about what this will be. Whether it will be a live-action film, kind of like their past work.
It's currently being titled Alma Junction, based off of Alma Junction, Colorado.
Don't know what that means.
That could just be a placeholder until an actual thing happens.
Yeah.
But they are working on a new film script.
Yeah. Unclear. Maybe this is Basketball 2.
Hopefully. No.
You didn't think about that option, did you? Anyway.
It might be.
Or a film adaptation of the Book of Mormon. Could happen.
It could happen.
I'm actually surprised that hasn't been optioned yet.
I'm pretty sure someone has an option on it.
Somebody is just sitting on it somewhere.
Just like The Wicked's just been sitting on.
Universal's just on top of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? That's it for the bits. Unless you have one thing, I forget what it was, but you said something before we pressed record earlier that you needed to add.
Oh, no. I need to add
TV. Never mind. We're good then. So that's it for the bits for movie news, and that's it for movie news.
I believe that's it. Yeah, we're done. I don't have anything else to add for movie news.
Cool. Then let's move on. Oh, I guess real briefly I should say the internet is aflame today because they announced the Blu-ray plans for Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, including a giant 9-movie package.
Yeah.
So pre-orders now, I'm sure, if you want to grab all 9 Star Wars films re-released on Blu-ray.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that the details were released, and I was like, do I really need all 9?
People really don't like the cover of Rise of Skywalker.
I wonder why. I wonder how people actually liked Rise of Skywalker, though.
There's going to be a taco on The Masked Singer. I just saw that on TV.
Yes.
Anyway.
Speaking of tacos, let's move to sports.
That has nothing to do with tacos, but yes, it's time to talk
Oh, no, it actually does have to deal with sports.
Well, we'll get there. We have to talk about television, and to start with television, we always start with sports.
Yes.
And our first story, of course, is follow-up from last week's talk about the basketball All-Star Weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it happened, and Team LeBron won it.
Won
the All-Star game.
Yes, and the team LeBron tried to get LeBron the ball so he could make the game-winning shot and give him MVP honors. Yeah. But no, he missed like 3 in a row before James Harden was like, all right, we're just going to try to end this here. Mm-hmm. And he was like, all right, my turn to shoot.
Yep. By the end, Kawhi Leonard won the Kobe Bryant MVP award.
Yes. David Stern later came out and said that it will forever now be known as the Kobe Bryant MVP award.
Is that because Kobe Bryant won it a certain amount of times?
Kobe Bryant is tied for winning it the most amount of times.
Okay, who's he tied with? Jordan?
No.
No?
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, someone from like the 70s.
Okay, something nobody remembers.
Yeah.
I take that back. Obviously, a lot of you basketball fans are probably yelling because yes, you do remember. But I'm not a basketball fan.
I'm also not going to look it up right now.
Yeah, not going to look it up. I guess that the dunk contest, the guy who was expected to win did not.
Yes.
We don't have that here, but I heard that.
Oh, yes. I think Aaron Gordon, who was supposed to win because he dunked over Taco.
There's your Taco.
Yes, that was why I bring up Taco. Taco is a 7'7" player, and Aaron Gordon cleared him.
I don't know what you mean by that, by the way. Who is Taco?
He's a 7'7" basketball player.
Why is his name Taco?
He's ethnic.
Okay, but why is he named Taco? That doesn't help.
That's just his name.
Is he from Mexico?
No.
Then why is he named Taco?
I don't know. I didn't name him.
Okay, he dunked
probably short for something.
He dunked over Taco?
Yes, he dunked over Taco. He cleared him. He jumped over a 7'7" person and cleared him.
Still didn't win the dunk contest.
Not only that, but every single dunk he did was a 50. He had 250 by the time we got to the final dunk.
This sounds like a home run derby situation.
It is exactly like a home run derby situation where the guy hit record after record after record and lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that sucks.
Yes. We blame D. Wade for this because he was a homer and gave it to Jones Jr., who was on the Miami Heat, because he wanted him to win because he's a homer. At least that's what the internet's saying.
Yeah.
Because he's like, gave him an 8. I was like, nope. I was like, damn it. F you. And like even when he was accepting his award, it was just like silent. No one was like cheering. Because everyone thought that Aaron Gordon should have won.
It's like, wait a minute.
Because he had 50 in the first. Because he had 2 initial dunks.
Drunks.
2 initial drunks in order to get to the finals.
Uh-huh.
So it was, he got 50, then a 50, and then he had 2 for the finals. It was 50 and 50 again.
Yeah.
And then he did 50 again in the overtime. And then he jumped over Taco. And then he jumped over Taco. Yeah. It's not like he just continuously did it. No,
so he proved himself over and over and over again.
And they didn't win. Yeah. And because of it, he said he was no longer going to be competing in the dunk competition because this is the second time it happened to him.
Sad.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's basically it for the basketball all-star stuff, unless you have anything else to add for basketball before we can move into other sports.
Nope, not for basketball. But there's still basketball to be played. Season will be over in April.
In earnest.
Side basketball, March Madness is happening in 1 month.
In March.
Yes.
So we need to start talking about what we're going to do for our bracket.
Yes, our March Madness again.
Bring that back.
Yep.
All right, another sports. A roller coaster of emotions, some ups and some downs in NASCAR this week with the Daytona 500. Denny Hamlin won the race.
Denny!
But the big story was, of course, the horrific crash that Ryan Newman suffered but survived.
Okay, I'll see. How much of this do you know?
I've been listening to this on the radio, on and off, and today he is walking.
Yes, today he walked out of the hospital held hand in hand by his 2 daughters.
Yes.
So that is good news. Did you at all see the crash happen?
No, I make a point to not look at stuff like that.
Okay, because not only did his car flip initially, but his car, while flipped and while upside down and while driver's side, another car going at 170 plus miles an hour hit him straight into that mesh of a windshield and sent him flying, skidding upside down, car catching in the flames.
Yeah, it sounds brutal.
It was brutal. I was watching this at work because, that's the other thing that happened at NASCAR. The president did the, and gentlemen, start your engines. He was also the grand marshal.
Right.
Tried to get a photo op. Didn't get the one he wanted. Used a different one. Internet immediately caught on. So that happened. But also that Daytona 500 on Sunday, the official race, got rained out. Only the second time it's ever happened. So they had to race on Monday, President's Day.
Yeah.
That's the third time it's ever done that.
Yep. So there you go. Some highs, some definite lows, but it's good to hear that he is up and moving around, and that didn't injure him as much as that could have. And that could have been like.
Basically, everyone who saw it was like, he's not. Nope. Wow. Nope, he's going to be out, he's going to be gone.
So, it is a miracle of modern medical science that man is moving.
It's also a testament to how safe these cars are. Mm-hmm. Because NASCAR runs at 200 miles an hour. Right.
And they need to be safe to survive something exactly like this.
Yes.
It goes to show you that if your sports organization actually cares about the safety of their competitors, that they will work hard for it.
Yep.
Looking at you, National Football League.
You mean the XFL?
Both, really. Let's talk about both here.
Also, still playing fantasy football.
Yes,
XFL.
Also, XFL's still on.
Undefeated fantasy XFL champ right here. Mm-hmm. Still going strong.
All 2 weeks.
All 2 weeks.
All right. In other sports here, baseball spring training games start this very weekend. So
yes.
Get excited.
As we reported last weekend, pitchers and catchers reported on Friday.
It's time.
Everyone else has been reported, I think today. Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes. Shohei Ohtani.
Yes.
Of the Los Angeles Angels. Got himself a driver's license.
Hell yeah.
And then he pulled up to spring training in a Tesla.
Hell yeah. You know what? Good for him.
Yeah.
You know, using that baseball money for something.
Yeah. And then, so because all the teams are in spring training right now.
Yes.
So are the Houston Asterix.
Yes,
they are being bombarded by media questions constantly. They did come out with an initial statement from the team basically apologizing. And, by apologizing, you're admitting that it happened, right?
A little bit.
A little bit? Isn't that what an apology is?
That would make sense, yes.
That's the definition of an apology? I admit my mistake?
Yeah, that I made a mistake, exactly.
Yes, not we didn't do it, but they admitted we made a mistake. And now, basically everyone, not just in the MLB world, but also in football and basketball, are clamoring at the commissioner to revoke their trophy and their World Series status. Or World Series champion status.
I still don't think it's going to happen. I still don't think that they'll be able to be convinced. Because that's never happened, right? In the history of the league? There's been asterisks.
In the history of the league, only one other time that I can think of. But that wasn't to win. That was to throw the World Series.
So it's different. It's a different thing. And so, I don't think there's a precedent for this specific thing. So, I don't think it'll happen. I think that the league will try to downplay it as much as possible and try to play up other elements of this season. probably will ignore the Astros completely and try to like make the narrative like, hey, we've all moved on, haven't you? I bet that's what happens.
I mean,
they're gonna bury this thing.
I mean, the way our current news cycles work, where things constantly are changing and get buried and moved on.
It will get buried.
Yes, but I also do believe that this affected, MLB players who play 182 games over the course of 7 months.
Yeah.
And they're going to continually just attack him.
It will be interesting to see what actually happens at Astros games, especially when they're away. Like, it'll be interesting to see what happens there if the fans of the other teams, what extremes they will go to show their displeasure and distaste for the Houston Astros.
And where do the Houston Astros play their first official opening day game?
I don't know. It might be local. It might be somewhere around here.
Might be something down the street we could possibly go to.
It might be something that I am going to. So I may be there in person to tell you. But that will be for the podcast that happens after April 4th, 2020. So
yes.
Stay tuned for that. But man, that might be a fun night.
Right.
It's a Trout bobblehead night.
It's Trout bobblehead night?
It's yeah.
It's not wall calendar night?
No, it's Trout bobblehead.
Oh, yeah. Usually the first ones are always like wall calendar.
Well,
so
they have a week
season.
before the technically still spring training game against the Dodgers.
Oh yeah, the exhibition.
So I think that might be that week.
Maybe.
Anyway.
All
right. We need to move on.
More stuff happened.
Because more stuff happened. Well, actually, one more sports story before we move out of sports. Fighting is a sport, I suppose. UFC fight this weekend. Wilder versus Fury 2.
Yes, the rematch this weekend on pay-per-view or ESPN Plus pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I believe if you have ESPN Plus, you do get a discount.
Get it. Yeah.
No, you don't get it for free. You have to pay.
No, you get a discount.
Yeah, you can get it severely discounted.
Severely.
Yes.
I like a severe discount.
It's like $25, $30, I think.
Yeah, it's a pretty good discount.
Yeah.
So yeah, anything else on sports before we move on?
We in hockey, the first outdoors hat trick took place as the Kings played the Colorado Avalanche by Tyler Toffoli of the LA Kings, only for him to be traded 2 days later by the LA Kings. So that happened. First hat trick in an outdoor venue, and then he's gone, and then so is Alex Martinez, and that's basically that 70s line is officially gone.
Done. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kings.
But rebuilding here, working on it.
It.
But yeah, hockey is still a thing going on.
Still
Please watch it. Yeah.
Don't forget about it.
Don't forget about it.
All right. Now let's move on. So that brings us out of sports. That brings us into television news proper. Our first story is less television, more politics, but hey, it's televised sometimes.
It is televised. Also, it has television personalities.
It's that time of year again. It is time for the White House Correspondents Association's dinner. And this year, the host was announced to be none other than SNL's veteran Kenan Thompson.
Everyone loves Kenan Thompson.
It's true. They found somebody in the middle enough to please both sides.
And someone who's willing to accept said job.
But they couldn't be 100% non-controversial because they chose Hassan Minhaj as the featured entertainer for the night. And somebody who's known for his Netflix show Patriot Act.
Which premiered after the last time he was there.
Extremely anti-Trump. So yeah, it's interesting choices that they did there.
Yeah.
But yeah. This is a return to form because if you have been paying attention to this kind of thing the last couple of years, last year they didn't have an entertainer at all. It was Ron Chernow discussing the history of journalism and the First Amendment. Sounds like fun.
Hey, let's get free dinner.
And then the year before that, of course, was the year where Michelle Wolf, another former Daily Show correspondent,
yes,
went on and ruffled some feathers.
Right, before she had her own Netflix special and series.
Is now over, I believe.
Yes.
But yeah, there's no immediate word on whether the president will actually be attending this year.
Or any year.
He famously did not attend the last couple.
Yes, being the first president to do so.
Yeah, to not.
Yeah.
Because he's a baby.
Anyway.
That's not to say that Michelle Wolf has her own issues. I'm not going to go into it right now. But anyway.
Anyways, Kenan Thompson. Everyone loves Kenan Thompson.
Yeah, Kenan Thompson. You know what? Fine.
He's all that.
I'm okay. Yeah. I'm okay with him in general as a person. I think he gets bad material. So it's not necessarily his fault.
No.
But yeah, this is a weird. Like, I feel kind of bad for the dude because it's not a fun job.
No.
The host of this thing.
But this is also him, branching outside of SNL.
Yeah, I guess.
Part of that whole global thing.
I feel like he's been doing a pretty good job of that in the last year or so.
Yeah, I know. We were outside. He's had stuff like producing.
A lot of behind the camera work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our second story has to do with Netflix streaming because we have a couple of new Netflix shows that are aimed towards us video game players, your gamers, if you will.
Does this belong in video game news?
No, not really.
No? Okay.
I guess you could say that this straddles the line.
Straddles the TV line?
The TV and video game line,
yeah.
So, we talked about a lot about the video game company Blizzard here on this podcast, and lately it's been a lot of negative news. But this is a positive for Blizzard fans, potentially, as they will finally see some of their favorite Blizzard franchises on their television screen in the form of a TV show.
Da-da-da-da.
Diablo and Overwatch are both getting animated series based on them.
Not Warcraft.
No, not Warcraft. You have to see that terrible movie if you want to get Warcraft material. No, Diablo and Overwatch series are in the works at Netflix. The Diablo series will be an anime-style show, much like the adaptation of Castlevania, also on the network. This is according to the LinkedIn profile of Nick Van Dyke, co-president of Activision Blizzard Studios, who previously served as a producer on the Netflix original animated series Skylanders Academy, because that's also an Activision property.
This sounds like Activision wanting to branch out more than it does Blizzard wanting to do it.
Sure does. So Diablo is getting an animated adaptation rendered in anime style, as we mentioned, which is currently in pre-production and will release worldwide through Netflix. Overwatch has frequently fleshed out its backstory with CGI animated shorts, including the Overwatch 2 announcement cinematic from late last year.
Mm-hmm.
Activision is also working on a Call of Duty movie, although it's been announced that project has been put on hold. Several movies are planned, with the Call of Duty cinematic universe of sorts being built, with the first to be directed by Stefano Sollima, who directed Sicario, Day of Soldado.
That was a good film. But this does sound like Activision wanting to branch out its media into other media.
The Call of Duty film, by the way, Joker writer Scott Silver was brought in to co-author the script. So,
that was obviously not the best part of that film.
So out of the three of these things, so I think that Overwatch is the easiest to see this work. Because Overwatch already has the deep roster of characters. Mm-hmm. You already have fans that know and love these characters intimately and want to see stories about them. I think that that's a brilliant, brilliant idea.
Also, this formula has worked before. See X-Men the animated series.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah.
See any ensemble series.
Oh, yeah, no. It's. I could see this working. It's just a matter of making sure that they nail the audience for this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Overwatch games are like T rating. So if you're aimed towards kind of like young adult, kind of teenage kind of like audience, I think that's where you got to do what you got to do for this one.
It will be interesting to see if they go full on animation like Voltron or She-Ra.
Yeah, that's a good question. I would imagine that this is an opportunity to do a CG series so that way they can kind of put it in the same kind of world as their CG promotional movies.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I could also see a traditionally animated version of the Overwatch characters. So either way, I just think that it has to be animated.
Which one, I guess, would be cheaper to make?
I mean, that actually depends, because my understanding is that...
Because, they already have the character models that they're going to use it for CG.
Yes, they do, but if they do a CG series, I 100% bet that they outsource it and they do not do it in-house.
Okay.
Because, yes, they do have a world-renowned CG team at Blizzard,
mm-hmm.
but they work so hard on the video games that I do not think that they will have time to make a full series of a full season of animation. I really doubt it. So if they're going to do it, they're going to outsource it to another studio.
So the question is then, do they do like what Disney did and give them the assets to like make their stuff available?
Maybe. It might be a good idea.
Or sorry, that was Pixar. Who? Was it both? I think both Disney and Pixar gave assets to Kingdom Hearts.
Yes.
But but they had to create their own.
But yeah, I imagine that we see some sort of something like a little bit of a downgrade from the quality that we've seen from them before, but nonetheless. But yeah, nonetheless a good idea. Diablo, on the other hand, I guess something in the Castlevania lane works for it. But yeah, definitely for an older audience.
See, I would go with more like Attack on Titan with that.
No, it'll be more closer to that Castlevania series, I think, because that works. That's a formula that works. But as for the Call of Duty movie, I do not understand why that needs to happen. Wouldn't that just...
It should be a war movie.
Yeah, any Call of Duty movie would just feel like a frickin'
Michael Bay,
Tom Clancy adaptation. You know, it just wouldn't...
Yeah, but hey, Tom Clancy films make money.
Yeah, did 20 years ago. There hasn't been one of those in a long time.
Jack Ryan would like a word with you.
That's a television series. That's Amazon. Not a movie. So yeah. I don't know.
Michael B. Jordan would like a word with you.
Michael B. Jordan always wants a word with me, and I keep rejecting his calls.
Damn it! Tell me when he's on the line. I need to talk to him. I have this great Space Jam 2 idea that he can do.
You need to tell him about Michael C. Jordan, Michael D. Jordan.
Yes.
Warn him. He's up and comers. Wonder what they're doing right now. Michael D. Jordan? Michael C. Jordan
is, I think, graduating. Michael D. Jordan... No, sorry. Michael D. Jordan's graduating. Michael C. Jordan is currently in the off-season.
Oh, you're right, yes. Anyway. That's not going to make sense to any of the people listening to it.
Hey, anyway. that is for the serialized watchers. That is like that nugget of deep lore. That's like, oh, that's from like season 2. They brought it back. I get that because I've been listening and watching this thing for all these years.
Anyway, so that's it for that story. Let's move on. You have some thoughts. You watched some television on some streaming networks this week.
Yes, so...
you got your stream on.
My doctor was out, so I got my stream on. Or rather, I put it on and did other stuff.
Sure, yes. As streaming
as you do.
Efficient.
Yes. So, first up, Disney Plus had been advertising their original film.
Yes.
Timmy Failure.
Timmy Failure. Mistakes were made.
Yes.
What the hell is this? And is this yes or no? Is this based on a kid's book?
I'm gonna rewind here.
Okay.
Back in my youth, back in my day, back in my day, when I would read the comics.
Yes.
In the newspaper, when that was still a thing.
Yes.
I mean, it is still a thing.
I was actually just talking to my girlfriend about this.
Yeah. So I would read the comics on a pretty daily basis.
As did I.
Yeah. And, one of my favorite ones I would always go to is Pearls Before Swine.
Yes. I myself was a common reader of Pearls Before Swine.
Yeah. I liked it. I thought it was a good kind of meta humor, kind of dark humor, kind of narcissistic humor.
Yeah.
In very cartoon form, it was also easy to understand.
What does this have to do with Timmy Failure?
Oh, I'm going to get there. So, the writer...
Wait a minute.
The writer of Pearls Before Swine.
Oh, this is that?
Stephen Pastis.
Oh! My brain is being blown right now.
Stephen Pastis went from that, doing that cartoon series, that comic series, to making a book, a series of books, and then eventually getting a deal to write for TV. And this is one of those.
Okay, I didn't know it was the same dude.
I didn't either until I was like, okay, I keep seeing this thing. Let me see what it actually is about. And under the credits, it says written by Stephen Pastis.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, wait.
And you looked it up?
That name sounds familiar.
And you were like, why does this name sound familiar?
I was like, okay. That's why.
I had no idea. That's amazing.
There you go. Mind blown. So that is why I watched it.
Okay, cool.
So that's why I watched it.
So how was Timmy Failure?
Take Pearls Before Swine, that kind of humor, and turn it into a movie.
But very much more for kids, right? This is being marketed and Starring and for kids, right?
Yes, but the kid in this thing has that same personality as the rat in the comic books.
Okay.
Where he takes everything super serious at face value, but at the same time also has these grandiose ideas and planning and schemes. I don't want to go schemes, but
scheming.
Yeah, but because in To Me Failure, he's part of a detective agency.
Okay.
Who's run by his imaginary polar bear.
Right.
Friend.
I've seen the polar bear on the trailer.
Yes, the polar bear's name is called Total.
Why is he called Total?
So that way they can have a detective agency. Total Failure. Detective agency. And it's that kind of humor throughout this whole thing.
Got it.
And by that, it is humorous. I did enjoy it. Also because I enjoyed the Pearls Before Swine comics, and it takes heavily from that in terms of like the characters they brought out, and especially in the kid and the main protagonist in this thing. It takes place in Seattle, Stumptown. They bring that up constantly. That things always go down in Stumptown. And because it is through the eyes of a kid, it has a wild and vivid imagination. And some of the jokes are very spot on for Stephen Pastis kind of humor. Where, because he's a kid, he takes things literal and like twist words to not mean what they are, but because of the way, because you don't have any context for it as a kid, it's like, oh, this must be a literal thing. Like, I think one of them was like, just an example was like, he's the gatekeeper. And like, so it's like, oh, he's a gatekeeper, eh? And you just see him like stealing gates off of people's lawns. Where they're just like hoarding them.
I could totally see that in one of his comics.
Yeah, but that's like the kind of humor in this film.
Okay, this seems alright.
It is an alright thing.
It'd be a fun thing to watch with kids if you have kids.
Yeah. I mean, it's a stream it for me. I saw it. I would recommend it.
Streaming.
Because you enjoy Pro Before
that sounds alright.
Yeah, it is an alright thing.
I told my dad.
I liked it.
My dad was a big fan of the strip. So.
Yeah. Which, after I watched... So, as I was watching it and had the Stephen Pastis in my mind, because the kid wears the red scarf everywhere and has the brown shirt, I was like, wait, I've seen that image before. And if you go back into the... specifically the winter versions of Pro Before Swine, you see the rat wearing the red scarf. And it's like, oh, that's...
So it's like aesthetic.
Yeah. It's like, okay, now it makes a lot more sense. And I understand more of where all this humor is coming from.
Yeah. Because
I think if you don't have that, it kind of feels really off to you.
It might not be something that, that a sense of a kind of humor that really grabs you unless you are already predisposed to that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that being said, if you haven't read any Pearls Before Swine, go check it out. Those are really good comics there.
In fact, one of the nice things about newspaper comics is that they're pretty much free for everybody on the internet. You just have to go to comics.com or King's Feature Syndicate's website or whoever the distributor is, and find them, and usually they're posted every day, new strips. I don't know if he currently still is writing Pearls. I don't know if it's.
I don't know if he's writing it, but I think it is still a continuing strip.
Yeah, I don't know if they ended or not. So yeah, it might be still going.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about Pearls was that he would every now and then insert himself into it and have the rat
he was an active character in the strip.
He's an active character in his own strip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would be a fun March Madness bracket. Newspaper comics. It would be for literally no one in 2020, but it would be funny.
Yes, but it would come down to Peanuts versus Family Circle.
Oh no! It would be Peanuts versus Calvin and Hobbes. Let's be real.
Oh, Calvin and Hobbes.
It would have to be, right?
But is Calvin and Hobbes in the newspaper though?
No, but it would be all time, right?
Okay.
So yeah, that would come down to Peanuts and Calvin and Hobbes would win. So no, we just did it actually. We're done. We actually there's your winner right there. Anyway. Alright, we need to move on.
Alright.
You saw two other things.
Yes, so I saw two other things. The first one, I'm going to talk briefly about it because I can only talk briefly about it.
Okay, good.
It is Love is Blind.
Love is Blind.
Take Netflix's The Circle, throw in The Bachelor.
Okay.
You get Love is Blind.
All right.
They get, like, I think 6 men and 6 women who get into these pods and communicate. They call them pods. They're basically rooms.
Pods.
And they communicate to someone on the other side who they cannot see.
Okay.
But they also have to propose to them.
Okay.
And they have to be married within 40 days.
Okay. Jeez. That's
Yes.
a lot.
You know.
Pressure's on.
It's, well, you know, they get engaged. Like, everyone in this thing gets engaged within 3 days.
Uh-huh.
They're talking to them. It's like all they do. They get cut out all electronic communication. So it's basically you're either in like the male dorm or the female dorm, talking, relaxing, or sleeping, or you're in these pods trying to like find someone to match with,
right,
or trying to propose to.
Okay.
And you know, it's the whole Love is Blind thing. Oh, hosted. I forgot to say who this is hosted by.
Oh, okay.
The Lachey's.
Wow, Nick Lachey?
And wife Lachey.
Wow.
Yes. So they're hosting this experiment, basically saying, is love really...
She has no name, apparently.
I don't know her name. Unfamous Lachey.
Okay.
So, yeah, they're in these pods, and they're trying to basically, like, find love. And, like, is love truly blind? Can you fall in love with someone for who they are without ever actually meeting them? Well, you know, that'd be great as a, like, experiment. If all these people weren't so goddamn hot and good looking.
Yeah. Which is probably also part of the point.
I mean, maybe. But, like, because they do meet each other. Like, after they leave the pods and they go, like, on the honeymoon. And then they, like, eventually move in together.
Yeah.
And eventually get married. In this 40-day experiment.
Go on the honeymoon before they get married, wow.
Well, it's like a honeymoon. They go to Mexico and like spend time with each other to get to know each other more. But yeah, it's like one of the first things they do after the post interviews is, oh my god, they're so damn hot. Oh my god, she's so hot. Oh my god, they're so good looking. This is like really my fiance.
And so yeah, because they already went through the hard part of basically trying to figure out whether they actually were a match.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess by that point it's like, oh wow, they were actually, not only was I attracted to their personality, but I was also attracted to their faceanality.
Yes. Except for this one, and then that's where all the drama comes in, because one of the guys has slept with guys in the past, and apparently that was a deal breaker for the girl.
Oh.
And one of the guys is shorter than all the other guys, and so apparently she didn't sleep with him initially.
Oh,
and then like when they all met up together, like everyone's talking about, oh, like we just jumped each other's bones, like we all had sex, and she's there like just like keeps chugging alcohol, and then like on the guy's side, like, okay, how many times did you hit that ass? Oh, like how many times did you do that? Like, he's just over there just like chugging the alcohol too.
Yep, yikes.
And they'll get back together like in the room. They're like, are we really gonna do this?
So this sounds like they have just taken all of the charm and nuance of the circle and thrown it right out the window.
Kind of, yeah.
This is more of your traditional, like,
this is
ridiculous
circle,
like,
ridiculous relationship stuff.
Yeah, this is less social commentary. Like
yep, and everything changes when you leave the pod. Thank you, chat.
Everything changes.
Yes, it is super ridiculous. It's one of those. It's another ridiculous Netflix thing.
Yeah, that sounds like it's too much.
You know who it's for.
Yeah, it's not for me.
I know it's not for you, but it's for some certain people who like dumb stuff.
People who are obsessed with stuff like The Bachelor.
Yes.
Will love this.
Yeah.
Like. All right.
It's fun, it's hilarious, it's stupid, but then again, it is only a, as they put it, 3-week event where they have 5 episodes now, 5 episodes next week, and then a finale wedding episode in 2 weeks.
Got it.
So this thing will be over fast.
Speaking of over fast, so before you get to that last thing that you watched, I just want to mention I did actually watch something on Netflix this week. It will be a one sentence.
Yes, we know it's for you, chat. We know it's for you.
It'll be a one sentence review of this thing.
What did you watch?
We watched Next in Fashion on Netflix.
It's a fashion show.
It is Project Runway.
Oh, okay.
Like that is literally like every step of the way went and tried to make a fashion show exactly like Project Runway, and they did. The only difference is it's with teams. So this is Netflix's Project Runway, but with teams of 2.
Okay. Now this is different from the.
This is different from the current Project Runway that is running on not Bravo.
TLC. No, Bravo. It went back.
Bravo.
I think it went back to Bravo, right?
Whatever it's on, it's different from that Project Runway.
And it's also different from the one that Heidi Klum was creating.
Correct. This has none of the original Project Runway people, nor does it has the current Project Runway people. It is a completely unrelated show that just happens to have the exact structure of Project Runway.
Okay.
But with teams.
Okay.
We watched one episode of that. That's all. That's literally all I have to say.
So it's the Lego Masters.
That sentence will determine whether you actually want to check.
It's the Lego Masters of fashion.
Took, but even more straight. Like this is just Project Runway.
Okay, it's just Project Runway.
It's just Project Runway with different people.
Okay.
All right. This last thing that you saw, explain to me what Lock and Key is.
So, Lock and Key is a family about the Locks who move into Key House.
You mean your guys' friends?
Spelt the same. Yes.
But no, not really.
Not really, though. When is the Heidi Klum Tim Gunn thing happening?
You know what? I have no idea. They talked about that 2 years ago.
That is an Amazon thing, so ask Jeff Bezos.
That's why I don't keep tabs on anything happening in Amazon.
Right, that is an Amazon thing. That's why I brought it up. Yeah. That's why I thought that's what that was. That they failed on it.
This is a Netflix thing. This is unrelated.
Okay.
Okay, so Lock and Key.
So Lock and Key, not that Lock.
Right.
But yes, it is a family of Locks who move into the family-owned, very old Key House.
Okay.
Hence the title Lock and Key.
And they have key lime pie.
Actually, do they serve key? I'm trying to think of the ice cream they had was key lime pie.
I don't know.
No, they don't. It was mint chip.
Ooh, delicious.
And Rocky Road. They make a joke about Rocky Road because the characters who just moved there are on a Rocky Road. Yes. They purposely point that out in the show. This thing is basically like Stranger Things, but with the twist of it dealing with keys, and each of the keys does something different.
Yeah.
Very supernatural, very magical set of keys that are hidden throughout this house, which brings it to a whole plot hole point that I'm just going to blow in there, which is all these keys are hidden throughout the house. Who the hell is hiding these keys here? Because the kids, magical kids, super kids, or not magical kids, well, the family is basically magical because they own this house and they use the keys. But basically, the kids hear the keys calling out to them and they gravitate to them. And it's like, oh, new key. Here's the new key for the episode, or here's the new key for this one, or here's a new key we'll explore later.
It's easy mechanic to do a Monster of the Week kind of thing.
It is a little bit of a Monster of the Week thing, but there is also an overarching plot of the woman in the well who is trying to collect all said keys. And there's also the hidden family dynamics of, well, our dad didn't want us living here, but then, our dad died, and now we are moving back we're moving here for a fresh start, but our troubles still come and find us here.
Of course.
And, our dad is keeping secrets from us? Type of thing. That has been everything. Yeah, stuff like that. So it's follows the traditional tropes of a young adult novel.
Yeah.
While also being really cool in its setting up its keys and what it's used for.
Okay.
I do have a problem with it just, here's more random keys. Just keep throwing out there okay, how many keys are there actually? If you will tell me that, there's okay, now I can keep track. There's a finite number of keys, which I assume there is a finite number of keys.
But who knows?
We just haven't gotten there yet. Yeah. But this is something that I will continue to watch. I'm about 2 episodes. I'm invested. I'm 2 episodes shy of finishing it. And I already want more episodes than what it's giving me.
Okay. There you go.
That being said, on a tagline, I remember feeling this way about Umbrella Academy when it came out. And Umbrella Academy Season 2 is slowly coming to us as well. Yep. They just started doing character posters for Season 2. So that means we should get a trailer sometime soon.
Great. Well, I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
Glad you found another show.
Another good Netflix show.
Because, yeah, Christine, when we were watching that Next in Fashion thing, we bounced right off after the first episode. Yeah. So.
See if she likes Lock and Key.
Yeah, I'll ask her if she's heard of that, because that sounds like it would be up her alley.
It's based off a graphic novel comic book of the same name, okay. Lock and Key.
She actually may be familiar with it.
Yeah. This is also something that's been stuck in development hell for the past 10 years.
I see.
The original option for this was to be a movie or a series of films.
Okay.
Back in 2010, 2011.
When everything was getting an option for a series of films.
Yes, when all those young adult novels were being optioned. Yep. And then it got stuck at Lionsgate for a while, trying to get adapted. Then it got switched from a movie to a TV series. Mm-hmm. Didn't get picked up by any networks. It was at Hulu for a while until they bounced off of it and then ended up at Netflix. And that's where we are now here with Netflix. But the actress in this thing, the girl, that's one to keep an eye out for. I think she has a good future in acting.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for our thoughts about television this week. Is there anything else we need to talk about with television before we can move on safely to the world of cancellations and renewals?
I think we're able to move on safely.
Thank God. Let's talk about cancellations and renewals. First up, Netflix bringing back Sex Education for a third season, so you will learn more about sex.
In case you didn't already know, all you need to know.
ABC is confirmed. I think we talked about this already, but I guess not. The Good Doctor will be back for a fourth season.
Yes. Fourth season. I think that's just one thing that just keep renewing.
Amazon's Bosch.
Yes, the cop show Bosch.
Will have its last the seventh season will be its last.
Upcoming seventh season finale.
And now we have deaths.
Quite a lot
of deaths this week.
Nothing major, but all people who've...
There is, depending on your audience here, later, but I'll get to that mostly in the music section.
Yes.
Because you don't actually have it in the death section.
Okay.
First up, Jeanette Dubois, age 74, was an actress in shows like Good Times and movies like I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. Mm-hmm. Henry Gray, age 95, a Hall of Fame blues pianist and singer. Mickey Wright, age 85, a Hall of Fame golfer, was the AP Athlete of the Year in 1963 and 1964. Mm-hmm. Kelly Nakahara, age 72, an actress in things like MASH, Clue, and Three Ninjas Kick Back.
Gotcha.
One of the many sequels to Three Ninjas.
Yep.
Caroline Flack, this was the big one, TV deaths this week. Age 40, real young, was a TV and radio host and stuff like The X Factor and I'm a Celebrity, etc. But most famous for being the host of Love Island, one of the big sensations from last year.
Yes, I've seen a lot of this about her everywhere on the news.
Yes, this was a big story.
Yep.
And then lastly, in your list, John Shrapnel, age 77, an actor in Gladiator, Troy, 101 Dalmatians, among others. There's one more death I'll get to in music, but we'll get there when we get there. In fact, it's time for music, so I'll hand this over to you. And before we talk about that, we talk about the Billboard.
All right, before we start Billboards, with the singles chart, and the singles chart is the Hot 100.
It's the same as last week.
So let's run through this real quick, shall we?
Yeah, shall we?
Number 1, The Box.
What's in the box?
Number 2, Life is Good by Future, but it's really Drake.
Yeah.
Number 3, Circles by Post Malone.
Still circling.
Number 4, Memories by Maroon 5.
Yep.
And number 5, Dance Monkey by Tones.
Nothing changed.
Nothing changed. As for your Billboard 200,
stuff changed.
Your albums chart. Number 1, Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial by Roddy Ricch. Again, your number 1 album.
Back up there because nothing else came out.
Number 2, Hollywood's Bleeding by Post Malone. Swatch Places with number 3.
Yep.
Music to Be Murdered by Eminem.
Yep.
New this week at number 4, Father of All, ... by Green Day.
Yes.
Yes, that Green Day with a top 5 hit.
Couldn't even pull off number 1 record.
And, they had that Hella Mega Tour, so coming out. And with number 5, once again, Billie Eilish with When We Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go?
Yep, still there.
Still hanging around. If you don't like any of those albums, we have new music.
What am I listening to this week?
I don't know what you're listening to, but here are the new releases.
This is a truncated list this week because I was kind of in a hurry when I was doing this, so I basically took the biggest names on the list and just did those. So if your favorite artist is missing from this week, I'm sorry.
All right, well, first up we have Always Tomorrow by Best Coast.
Yep, that's the new Best Coast record.
You will be listening to this one.
Yes, I'll check it out. I don't know. They've had spotty history.
All right. We also have Map of the Soul 7 by BTS.
This is your big release of the week.
This is going to be your number one?
This will be your number one. Not next week, of course, because there's a week delay, but the week after.
It's BTS. We also have Miss Anthropocene by Grimes.
I think it's supposed to be Miss Anthropocene.
But there's a 0.
Like the Anthropocene era, and yes, the 0 is a no. Yes, Grimes. This is the new Grimes record. Long awaited. This is the release after all the Elon Musk weird climate change happy thing.
Is this not a duet then?
Androids. No, Elon is not featured on this record.
No, but she is pregnant though, right?
I mean, technically she was, I guess, a portion of this recording, but I don't know if all of it.
I don't know, it's like Serena playing doubles in a singles.
I got it.
Yes.
Anyway, but yeah, I'm going to listen to this because I'm just curious to see how this thing turned out.
Alright, we also have Surrender Your Poppy Field by Guided by Voices.
Yep. Are you not familiar with Guided by Voices?
No, but I do...
It's been around for like 20 years.
I do think Surrender Your Poppy Field is a Wizard of Oz reference.
Maybe.
We also have Ordinary Man by Ozzy Osbourne. Yes, that Ozzy Osbourne.
I don't have it in music news here, but it's also relevant that he had a tour behind this record planned, but he has dropped out of it due to health concerns.
Doesn't he have, like,
cancel?
Or does he have cancer?
I don't know what he has, but it was something that happened recently.
Brain?
I don't know what it is. But yeah, he canceled his entire 2020 tour.
Right.
Recently.
I thought it was meant he wasn't all there.
I have no idea. Don't ask me. I just saw the headline.
I know they're talking about it on the Grammys red carpet.
Yeah, I don't know.
We also have Man Alive! ! By King Cruel.
Yep.
Not that King Cruel.
Not King K. Rool,
no.
the Donkey Kong Country character, but King Cruel.
King Cruel.
King Cruel.
All right. That brings us to music news.
Music news, and like I said, the first story is about a shocking and surprising death. Somebody who was just last week in our, or 2 weeks ago, in our top 5 singles list, if you recall.
Well, Brooklyn rapper Pop Smoke was fatally shot Wednesday morning at a home in the Hollywood Hills. Law enforcement officials confirmed to the LA Times. He was 20.
Yikes.
Pop Smoke, born Bashar Baraka Jackson, was at a residence in California around 4:30 a.m. when 2 masked men broke into his home, law enforcement told TMZ. The men allegedly fired multiple shots. He was immediately taken to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in West Hollywood, where he was pronounced dead. Quote, "We are devastated by the unexpected and tragic loss of Pop Smoke," a rep for Republic Records said, to which the rapper signed via the imprint Victor Victor. Quote, "Our prayers and thoughts go out to his family, friends, and fans as we mourn the loss together." Yet another rapper.
Dead young. But at least this time he was murdered. This was not, a drug-related thing. This was just straight up like somebody was out to get him. And they got him. But yeah, this is really, really dark and really bad timing, considering that he just had a top 5 Billboard single, literally 2 weeks ago. He was just getting all these features. In fact, he has a feature on the upcoming A Boogie with the Hoodie new record, which comes out, I believe, next week.
I believe that is already out. I thought that was out last week.
No, maybe that was out last week. Well, regardless.
I think I saw it in my new releases.
The new Boogie with the Hoodie release has a Pop Smoke feature on it. He was just getting headlines on music blogs that I follow, like, just last week. And, like, now he's already gone.
Damn.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, we've talked about it before on this podcast, but man, what a rough culture. And, like, there has to be some sort of, like, end to this. But who knows?
No, I hate these downer
it's a downer.
stories.
But I believe that the second story is not a downer.
No, the second story is indeed an upper.
I included this one. I don't really care about this, but I included this one for you because I thought you'd get a kick out of it.
Yeah, I do. Because it's about the Foo Fighters.
Yes, you love the Foo Fighters.
I love me some Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
Dave Grohl's a good guy.
What are they doing? Why are they in the news this week?
Well, the Foo Fighters are revisiting their past with a tour to commemorate their first ever outing as a band way back in 1995.
Yeah, 25 years ago.
Yep. Dubbed the Van Tour, the spring trek will kick off in Phoenix on April 12th and wrap up in Hamilton, Ontario on May 12th. Only a month?
Yeah.
That's
short.
Each stop will feature a sneak peek at frontman Dave Grohl's new documentary, What Drives Us, which features fellow road warriors like Black Flag, Dead Kennedys, Metallica, and the Beatles, among others. The group announced the tour with a message to fans, quote, "Congratulations! You're old!" You've been going to see Foo Fighters shows for 25 years now. What better way to celebrate than joining the band in commemorating its silver anniversary in some of the same cities where the first Foo Fighters shows took place in 1995. The Foos, Dave Grohl, Nate Mendel, and Pat Smear completed the 1995 tour in a Dodge van. That same year, the band released its self-titled debut album, which went on to be certified platinum. The band now also includes drummer Taylor Hawkins, guitarist Chris Sheffert, and keyboardist Rami Jaffe.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm of two minds about this thing.
Yes.
I feel like, yeah, it's cool that they're like saying like, hey, remember back when we used to have to do this? Like, let's do it again, just for old time's sake. Let's live the van life.
Let's get the band back together.
Except note that it's a whole month. That's it.
That's probably on the original tour dates they did.
Much longer, I'm sure.
Probably.
They probably were in that van for a lot longer than a month 25 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I get the nostalgia factor here, and I get that it's a fun thing with the fans. But the kind of the other side, the flip side of this, is that they are booking, part of this is that they are booking smaller venues. They're specifically going to smaller locations that they would traditionally not be because of size restriction.
You say small. Yeah. I say intimate.
Yes, they're going to on purpose go to smaller, intimate venues. And one, that takes away those smaller venues from bands that actually can't, like, already are playing to that size, not to that could sell out arenas like the Foo Fighters.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking up that space and those dates from those touring bands. And also, like, they're basically like, hey, like, us rich guys are going to do, like, live the van tour lifestyle, when real touring bands right now are doing that with a lot less money and struggling to pay for any of it. And so, like, it's, I don't know. It leaves me with a bad taste in my mouth as somebody who follows the kind of DIY indie tour scene.
You're right.
In these areas. And so it, like, kind of sucks that it's like you have these millionaires basically being like, hey, we're going to do it for a month and we're going to, like, do it for the fans. It's like, yeah, but no.
Yeah,
you're taking
but
this
isn't this also a way to get people to know about local venues?
So maybe, yeah. I think that's a positive way you could look at it, is that maybe fans
it's like, hey,
will be
the
like,
Foo Fighters stopped here
all the time here.
It's also like the Foo Fighters started here and they became big. And you too can follow bands from their beginnings.
Another thing that they could potentially do that would make this cool is if they've had openers that were local. I don't know if they're going to do that. But if I was the Foo Fighters, I would be booking local bands that already were going, like, that already tour in those places to open for them, so that they could break smaller acts that way. I think that'd be really cool. I don't know if that's what they're doing here, but they should.
I think this is something that because it's not an arena tour, don't expect them to play the hits.
No.
I mean, they will play the hits.
I mean, you can't go to a Foo Fighters show and not have them play Everlong.
Yes.
You know, it's required.
Well, no. See, they will play Everlong, but everyone will just sing it.
Yeah. Dave will just back up.
Yeah.
Let everybody handle it.
Meanwhile, Garth did a dive bar tour, but that was okay.
Well, yeah, but... Okay, so country is a completely different situation. Country music, even the smaller acts are very managed.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this briefly when we were talking about the Taylor Swift documentary. The culture of the country machine is just that. It's a machine. You basically... It's not the same kind of thing as the indie rock culture is. There's some crossover, there's some differences. Obviously, there is, a dive bar circuit for the young and up-and-comers. I realize that. But it makes more sense for the audience and for the people putting these performances on to accept Garth Brooks doing that kind of thing, but than it is for the Foo Fighters to literally tread on these smaller bands like territory. It's complicated. It's politics. It's really just it's music politics.
Yeah, but if you get. Like I said, it's getting people to the venue and people knowing about.
No, like I said,
venue.
that's a potentially cool side effect of this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just speaking for the bands I've seen on my Twitter pointing the negatives out. I'm just saying that the bands that do play in these places are not happy about this. So, just spreading the message.
All right, but Garth sells out stadiums regularly.
Right.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's complicated.
Yeah.
It's complicated, and like I said, it's just some of the bands are not super happy about what this is saying about touring culture as a whole. And basically, they're saying that the Foo Fighters are able to emulate the romantic version of it while not actually having to live the real life version of it.
They already lived the real life version of it.
Because they did it in the 90s when it was something you could do and could afford. Mm-hmm. Not doing it in 2020 where the venues aren't even giving you full merch cuts and you could barely repair your van.
Right.
You don't know how many times I've seen on Twitter, bands I follow be like, our van broke down, please donate to our Patreon or buy something off our Bandcamp because we literally cannot get out of where we're at to make our next stop unless we get money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a different thing than it was in 95.
Yeah. I mean, gas prices are also a different thing.
Oh, hell yeah. Big difference.
Maintenance is a whole different thing, too.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, I'll check out those tour dates, probably. Yeah. See if there's anything local.
Yeah, those are going to sell out in a second, though, because of the size of the venue.
No, I just want to see where they go.
Yeah. I'd be curious to where their stop in LA is.
If there is a stop in LA.
Chances are there will be.
It's just Dave Grohl's backyard. It's big enough.
Yeah, right.
The whole block party.
Anyway.
Anyways, we have thoughts. Or I have a thought real quick.
All right. What do you have a thought about?
The briefest of thoughts. This is for And It's Still Alright. The new Nathaniel Rateliff song. Album. Nathaniel Rateliff, of Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats.
Oh, okay.
Where he gave us the ever popular song, S.O.B.
Oh, I remember when you listened to this a lot.
I listened to this one constantly.
Yes, and it annoyed me.
It probably did.
I was like, what the hell is this song? I hate it.
It's that guy.
It's that guy. Okay.
Yes, but because this album is just Nathaniel Rateliff, it is just that guy. Okay. This is not a full-on rock band like I thought I was going to get.
What you were expecting.
That I was expecting with S.O.B. being my basically only platform for knowing who this person is. But that being said, this album was pretty okay. Nothing too outstanding in my mind. Mm-hmm. There's only one explicit song, but somehow that's the only one I liked on it. That's nothing to say about my music taste or what he puts out. I just thought that was kind of a cute factoid.
Sure.
A cute, not it's cute like cute. It's an acute.
It's like not obtuse. It's a cute.
Yeah, it's tiny. It's less than 90 degrees.
Yes, less than 90 degrees. Yeah, exactly. It's cute.
Now the geometry's out of the way.
Yeah.
It's a fine album. It's definitely a stripped down acoustic, almost semi-pairing of Nathaniel Rateliff.
Okay.
But while I was listening to it, he has some good lyrics. He has some good vocal choices.
Okay.
And a lot of these songs I could see specifically, I don't know why, this is on my mind, but being played in front of NBC dramas like This Is Us.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Where they have those like little like ditties going on at the beginning where it's not a well-known song, but it's just kind of sets the mood of what you're in, if you're about to watch. I was like, that's what a lot of these songs are. And I could see a lot of these songs appearing on something like that.
Right.
On like This Is Us or like not Roswell, Riverdale.
Sure, yeah, something like that.
Something like that, where it takes like either indie bands or not well known bands and kind of puts them into their episodes because it fits the mood right, it fits the tone that they want to set. And a lot of these songs on this album fit that kind of like there's drama going on, things aren't always as they seem, things aren't always easy, but things will always be okay. And that's kind of like what this album is.
Okay.
Mostly. There's a lot of feeling in this album, but not a whole lot of like into it.
Not a lot of moments where you're like, oh, that was cool. Just a lot of the kind of like same kind of wavelength.
But then also a lot of like stuff that it touches on you like in a personal level.
Yeah.
But also nothing that like is like a everlasting feeling.
Okay.
It's one of those fleeting feelings that get you in that mood.
Sure.
And I think that's kind of like what this album kind of is. It gets you in a certain mood.
It seemed to me a lot the story about a lot of last week's releases.
A little bit, yeah.
I also listened to the new... I'll just be brief about this because I don't really have that many thoughts about it.
Right.
I listened to the new Tame Impala record.
Okay, I saw that as an option.
It's fine. I mean, it's very much like in that same kind of like middle zone where it's like, yeah, you can put this on in the background and like this will probably be used in a couple of TV ads later this year. It's like that kind of thing.
Okay.
None of it made a huge impact on me, and so yeah, like it seems like that's the case for this as well.
Okay.
So yeah, is what it is.
All right. So just okay music then.
Okay, music this week. Nothing amazing. So.
All right. So then, shall we move on?
Shall we move on to video games?
All right, we're in the home stretch here.
Yay!
Video games.
Video games.
We have new releases.
We do.
First up, Under the Night in Birth, Eve, EXE, late, bracket, CL-R, close bracket, for the PlayStation and Switch.
I have no idea what the hell this is.
I don't know.
But that's quite
But it's not in birth, it's in birth.
Yeah, in birth.
Yeah. We also have Mega Man Zero and ZX Legacy Collection for the PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC.
They were originally Game Boy Advance and DS Mega Man games, and they're being brought to current consoles.
Okay. We also have Rune Factory 4 Special for the Switch.
Yep.
And
Rune Factory is the RPG offshoot of Harvest Moon, in case you were wondering.
I was not, but thank you for that. We also have 2 Point Hospital for the PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch.
Yep, that's a console release of a PC game that came out last year.
And Wasteland Remaster 2029 for the Xbox and PC.
Yep, as the name implies, that is a remaster of a PC game from a long, long time ago.
Also, you don't have it on here, but Kingdom Hearts Re-Mind for the Xbox
it already came out.
Released.
Most of the people who care about it played it elsewhere.
But not only that, the 1.5 and 2.5 HD and 2.8 is now bundled for the Xbox.
So, yeah.
And it's also available on Game Pass.
So if you're an Xbox Kingdom Hearts fan, well, why? And it's number 2,
yeah, if they're
now
on
you
PlayStation.
can play it all.
Anyways.
Those are your new releases.
New releases.
What's the news?
Real briefly, when do you think they're going to make a Mega Man movie?
A Mega Man movie?
Yeah.
I feel like my gut feeling is that the ship has sailed on that.
Yeah, but so that's what I was saying about Sonic.
I don't care anymore.
I was saying about Sonic, too.
Yeah, but I feel like the Sonic has a much bigger fan base than Mega Man does.
Yeah.
Just saying.
All right. We'll see how this game sells.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get into our first news story.
Okay.
Sony. Once again, skipping stuff as they won't be attending PAX East due to
they have a good reason this time.
Increasing concerns related to the coronavirus.
Yeah.
The announcement was made on the official PlayStation blog as an addendum to a story titled PlayStation at PAX East. Play The Last of Us Part 2, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and more. Mm-hmm. It read, quote, "Today, Sony Interactive Entertainment made the decision to cancel its participation at PAX East in Boston this year due to increasing concerns related to the coronavirus. We felt this was the safest option as the situation is changing daily. We are disappointed to cancel our participation in this event, but the health and safety of our global workforce is our highest concern." Close quote. Is this affecting Boston that much?
Yeah, I think that there have been some stories over there. I think there's a lot more stories of people catching this on the East Coast than on the West Coast, certainly. So I think Sony's concerns is that, but also having to fly their teams out is probably also a risk. A lot of people are avoiding commercial flights right now.
Yes.
Because of coronavirus worries.
I know our work has slowed down because we have factories and distributors in China that have taken weeks off, not just from the coronavirus, but also for the Chinese New Year.
So yeah, I would imagine that this is actually they just thought about it and was like, the amount of employees that we have to send on a plane to go to this thing is not a low number, low enough number.
It's affecting bigger cities more and more.
So yeah, I think this is probably smart on Sony's behalf. And honestly, they can do some sort of event on the internet. Nothing is keeping them from doing announcements in correlation with PAX East. So if they were planning on something, a reason to be there by like doing a big reveal, they could still do it on the internet. So
they have done something. They have done stuff like that before. They do put out notices and events.
So nowadays, there's no reason to be there in person. The only downside is that if they had, for example, playable builds of Last of Us 2, which they may have, that would have otherwise made their debut at PAX East, now that won't happen.
Yeah.
So that's the downside. Is that
you know how you get around that?
Fans will not be able to play Sony first-party games like they may have if they had appeared.
Yeah, but if you get around that by doing free demos.
Which that could also happen. That could also be the case. Who knows what the Sony strategy is? They've been weirdly quiet about this whole rollout towards the end of this year. So who knows what they're planning?
Yeah, Sony's, has been doing weird stuff, but also, I think in 3 years, it's not going to be that weird.
It's not going to be that weird now. I think this is the wave of the future, and they're just catching it early.
Yeah. Or they're trend-setting. They're the Voyager.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on then to our final story. That happened today.
Yeah. Today? Well, it was announced yesterday.
Well, it was announced yesterday, but I think it was today.
And it's technically for something that has not happened yet.
Okay. Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing New Horizons Direct is finally happening tomorrow? I thought that was today.
No, it was announced yesterday, but scheduled for tomorrow.
Okay, that's what...
They always have them on Thursday mornings, remember? Because this is the Pokemon problem, too.
Right.
Is that we could talk about it the night before, say it was the next morning, and not be able to report on it until next week.
Quick side note, this is the longest Nintendo has gone between Treehouses and Directs. This was noted to me a while back, and I was like, oh, huh. I didn't know that. Also, I'm not one paying attention to that. It's just, they just happen on a constant basis. But the announcement will be tomorrow at 6 a.m. Pacific time, our time. Otherwise, it's 9 a.m. Eastern. I think that's how that works. You can tune into Nintendo's YouTube channel to catch a 25-minute live stream.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one.
A live stream exclusively about Animal Crossing New Horizons. Nintendo says the presentation will include an in-depth look at Nook Inc.'s Deserted Island Getaway Package. This is likely to be the last major piece of marketing for the much-anticipated game before its release 1 month later on March 20th.
Yeah.
There's still a lot to learn about Animal Crossing New Horizons. One thing on many people's mind is how the new island setting will shape up. And it sounds like we'll see plenty of that this Thursday. Other questions people have include what kind of new activities we may be able to partake in, and how player-to-player interactions will work, especially if only one island is allowed per console.
So yeah, there are.
I thought it was per profile.
No, that's the thing that makes this different. Is that in the past, Pokemon, for example, it's been per profile.
Mm-hmm.
Animal Crossing, no, it will be per system for whatever reason. Whether it's because they're doing like through the identification being like by like console or something, like they're not allowing multiple game saves on the same console.
Okay, so that then brings up the question: is how big is the island then?
I don't know. I would hope very big, but again, this goes into kind of the conversation, which is there's going to be hopefully a lot of questions answered tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
I have some Animal Crossing super fans in my direct. That I talk to all the time that are very interested to see these questions answered tomorrow morning. So, in fact, that person has said that they are interested in guesting on the show next week to talk about it.
Next week, after, okay.
Yeah.
For a 25-minute.
But we'll see.
Okay.
If that actually happens.
All right.
But they've expressed interest.
They have expressed interest in doing a live chat with us.
Or possibly being here.
Yes. Like I said, a live chat.
A live chat. Yes, they will be alive and they'll be chatting.
Yes, we'll be doing it on live.
But we will
chatting.
See. We will see.
All right. We have video game thoughts. I'm not a big Animal Crossing fan, so I'm not super excited about it.
I'm interested in it. I haven't played an Animal Crossing game like a lot since the original one on GameCube.
I played the Animal Crossing Pocket
Camp, the phone one,
for like 2 weeks and then stopped.
But yeah, I've been watching someone play a lot of the 3DS game New Leaf recently, and so I am interested to see how they adapt.
Okay.
For the Switch. But yeah, I do actually have a couple of real brief video game thoughts. I wish I had more time to talk about Pokemon Go, but I know we're on a time schedule here. So what I will say is I've been playing...
You mean Pokemon Home?
Not Pokemon Go. Pokemon Home, thank you. Pokemon Home is out. That is the cloud storage solution for your Pokemon that interacts with the 3DS and also the Switch games. Mm-hmm. I have experimented with it. I brought my Pokemon from some of the 3DS games to Pokemon Home. I've earned a bunch of stickers, as you earn for beating challenges like upload this many Pokemon, upload this many poison-type Pokemon, etc. We have a bunch of built-in stuff like that. You get you stickers. You can put on like a little profile picture. It's cool. But beyond that, though, I haven't really dove into like the trading features. I have not done any uploading to Shield of Pokemon that I've gotten from the 3DS yet. That is still on my to-do list. But yeah, I paid for the $16 year subscription to that thing just to see like all the stuff that I could do. And yeah, sure enough, it's the trading stuff from Bank, the 3DS app Bank.
Yeah.
Is not as intuitive as you'd want it to be. It was a whole thing. Like I said, I wish I had more time to get into the nitty-gritty, but I don't. But yeah, maybe in the coming weeks I'll talk more about it as I do more stuff with it. But man, that thing is potentially really confusing for people who don't know how this stuff works. But for people who have been with the Pokemon storage solutions since they've introduced them way back on Pokemon Box for the GameCube, then you kind of know what they're trying to do here.
Okay.
But yeah, as I get into more of the different trade options and stuff like that, I will report back as the weeks go on. I also jumped into Season 2 of Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
You bought the Season Pass?
No. Oh. It's a free... Like, the Season 2 stuff, basically, you can buy the Season Pass, but the Season 2, like, stuff like the maps and new game modes, that's all free. You don't need to pay for it.
So they introduced the Battle Royale mode.
It is not launched yet. They are teasing it right now. It looks like it will be kind of like the version they had in Black Ops 4 last year, where it was basically let's take a bunch of Call of Duty classic maps and then like have several like those in like a giant map, where it's like, oh, this zone is kind of like that other map. But this time with classic Modern Warfare maps. So they showed a little bit of the classic Modern Warfare 2 map Airport, the one with the big plane outside. It is not currently a map you can play in multiplayer, but it looks like it will be a portion of the Battle Royale map.
Okay.
You open up, basically, the first time you play Season 2, you get a big CG cutscene. That's basically a preview for that whole thing. But that part of this has not launched yet.
Yeah, okay.
Right now, what's available is that they did add a couple of classic maps. Rust.
I remember Rust.
Is back, which I hate because people can get up top
so
of the middle structure and shoot down at you, and you're never looking up.
Yep.
And so I always die there from snipers. And another one that I can't... Oh, yeah, and a new map called Atlas Warehouse, which is basically... Remember Atlas from Infinite Warfare?
Yes.
The company run by Digital Kevin Spacey?
Yes.
Well, they're back, and this one is basically you're fighting at a Costco. Like an abandoned Costco.
Okay.
And so it's a neat map.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's all right. But yeah, so the new maps are good. Like some of the new challenges are interesting, but yeah, they have weekly challenges now to add on top of daily and like overall challenges. So yeah, they're keeping people busy in the Call of Duty train, and I'm still on it. I'm still a passenger.
I'm surprised you're a passenger on it.
I keep going. It's still good. It's like I said, it's the most Call of Duty I've played since Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
All right.
But that's my video game thoughts.
Okay.
That means we're good, right?
I think we're good. Yeah. Did I play? Oh, I got back into Borderlands 3 real briefly.
I saw that. I saw you on the PS4 on that.
Yeah, because I wanted to do the new stuff.
Did you do any of the new stuff?
I didn't get that far into doing it. Also, I don't know if I loaded it up correctly because I tried to immediately do the sovereign things or whatever, and it's like said still blocked.
Oh,
like, huh?
Yeah.
Like, do I have to wait for?
Do you have to get to the level cap to do that stuff?
I don't know. I thought I could do it.
Did you play around with it? Did you level up?
I leveled up a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I don't have to hit the level cap yet.
Okay.
But I did
the new
start
level
again. Yeah. No.
All right, cool. I might jump into that sometime when I'm not playing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Or Pokemon.
Pokemon. Yeah. I told you I'm getting the Pokemon Master,
yes,
right?
You have mentioned that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then I beat the full thing too, and caught the puppy.
Now you gotta download Pokemon Home and jump back in.
Yep. Start over with a whole new Pokemon now.
Hell yeah.
That's usually what I end up doing.
Yep. All right. That's it for the Media. That's it for video games.
And that's it for Media Podcast.
And that's it for the Media Podcast this week. Thank you for joining us this quick and dirty version of
Quick and dirty. It's still an hour and a half.
Still at regular time, but we finished it early. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week for another episode. If you want to see us live, go to youtube.com, search Media Boat Podcast. You'll find our podcast there. Like, subscribe, and click the bell, and you'll get notifications when we go live on streaming on YouTube. You can also listen to the audio version of our podcast on podcast services like Apple Podcasts. Just give Media Boat Podcast a search, and you'll find our newest episodes as well as our archive of our old stuff, including our older previous years of March Madness as we approach our new March Madness bracket for this year, where we choose a tournament-style bracket for some sort of pop culture something.
We did Disney animated films, we did Pixar films, and we did video game franchises.
So what will year 4 of the Media Boat March Madness have? Well, tune in to find out.
My money's on either music or TV, but who knows?
I would hope, right? Tune in for that. In the meantime, you can also find us on social media. On Twitter, our handle is @MediaBoatCast. Facebook, search Media Boat Podcast, find our page, like, comment on there as well. You can find us on twitch.tv/video games. I did it. It's been so long. I've been so good. Yes. Twitch.tv/MediaBoat, where you can see us playing video games such as Borderlands 3. Mm-hmm. You can also find us on patreon.com/MediaBoat, where you can find us begging for your money. No, I take that back. Where you can donate to us because it does cost money to host a podcast, in case you don't know. So please consider donating to us if you like what we do here and you want to see us get even better. As little as $1 a month can help us out. So please consider donating some money at patreon.com/MediaBoat. And with that, we will see you guys next week with Animal Crossing reactions, with
possible hosts.
Yeah, possible guest, with possible feedback from some people that we know about Birds of Prey.
Yep.
All sorts of things happening.
Possible more thoughts on stuff.
More thoughts, more news. Get ready. We'll have all that and more next week.
All right. Stay tuned for that. Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right, that's done. You're out. I'm going to make sure to stop the stream this time.